So you've seen this case before. This is my Droids Ewoks cartoon case. And it's got all of the figures from those lines in it. And a couple of extras like this oddity where he has a TIE pilot arm. And they've been in here for quite a while. This is the case that I modified so that it would fit size from. So I supersized it. But I also had the idea years ago to do a Droids style C-3PO carrying case. As you can see in the middle there. Now this one was my original 3PO case. I did not purchase it when it came out. I bought it secondhand many years later. And that was interesting. That sort of accidentally happened because I was focused on the camera more than on the reality. So that piece of paper landing in my hand as the case split open surprised me as much as it did you. So what's in here at the moment are a bunch of custom figures in this case. And this particular case did not have the one piece that holds the accessories in the little compartment. It had a duplicate of this piece instead. It was like that when I got it. So I was thinking about possibly taking these customs out and using this case for some of the overflow from the Vader cases. And put the customs with, there's actually a second case that customs are in, so I was thinking I was going to group them all together. Years ago, I bought a more modern 3PO case, and let me show you how you can tell. It's got these ridges inside the mouth, which this case does not have. It just has a smooth opening right there. See? So, more modern sculpt of 3PO. Cheap. I bought it. I painted it yellow. I was very careful not to paint the interior yellow because I thought, well, if I ever put my Droids figures in there, I don't want the yellow paint or anything to be touching them. Probably it's bad for these to be touching the black plastic of the Vader case. This sort of more recent goldish tone might be better for them. Also, I'm not sure what was here originally, because I bought this secondhand, I think. But looks like this cavity here should be plenty big enough for size from. So I don't even have to do any interior mods to this case. Fingers crossed, theoretically. Plus, now, in addition to all of these Droids and Ewoks figures, I do have some of these guys. So I need to find a space to put all my Droids figures together, including some 3D printed ones that I've gotten just the other day, just yesterday as a matter of fact. I'm not going to name the seller because there was a lot of cleanup that had to be done on these, and I've actually got to wait until I get to my better tools in Alabama to do some more work on them. For instance, the pegs on the inside of the legs of Uncle Gundy caved in because it's printed hollow. There's nothing supporting it on the inside. So I'm going to have to actually fill those legs in order to get them to snap into the torso like they're supposed to. This leg was hollow, as you can see. So I'm going to put a rod in there and glue that into place. But anyway, that's some work for another day. Now the design of this custom Keziban or Monjulpa in Android disguise is by a guy named McBenzie. And you can find the files, but I didn't have a way to 3D print them. So I found somebody selling this 3D printed Uncle Gundy, and I'm pretty sure the person that scanned an Uncle Gundy figure was Funky McClunky. And I was a little hesitant because I didn't know how big or little this guy was going to come out, but actually he is almost exactly the right size. So for someone out there to have scanned this figure, posted the file online, the eBay seller bought the file, printed it, turned around and sold it to me, that's a lot of steps involved for this guy to still turn out pretty much exactly the right size. And I had a custom that I wanted to do with an Uncle Gundy, but I certainly didn't want to buy an original Uncle Gundy to paint him different and ruin his value. I have that ingrained in me from a couple of sources, including the movie Brewster's Millions, that
you must not destroy what is inherently valuable.
So I didn't want to buy an Uncle Gundy and customize him, devalue him. So a 3D printed one, pretty much a perfect solution for that project. And getting the Monjulpa in the Android disguise was a little iffy because, there's a size discrepancy between Monjulpa and the original Keziban figure. They are the same character, if you're familiar with the story, but they are not quite the same size. Now, I did a little photo research against one of the prototypes recently because it was photographed with another figure, a production figure, close to it. And I was able to compare their height, and actually this fan-made Pro Custom Figures reproduction of the prototype is pretty much exactly the size of the Kenner prototype, but apparently Kenner didn't mind shrinking the character somewhat from one to the other. I mean, you've got Luke Skywalker figures that aren't the same height. I guess the same thing can happen to Keziban, But I was real pleased with this figure because he's very much in proportion with Keziban. So, same character, 3 different outfits, 3 different heights. Go figure. Now then, also, I got something fairly recently, which is one extra Threepio case. I actually forgot buying this one. It's a few years ago, and my collection would aggregate in different locations, and so sometimes it's not until I put them all together and compare them that I realize what I've got. So this one actually does have the correct interior piece. It's got some labels in there, some yellow, some black, some white, that they wrote on themselves in handwriting. So each one of those is kind of mismatched. I'm undecided whether I want to peel those off or anyway, but I'm going to try to make the yellow case with droids figures in it and Ewoks figures in it, including the ones from Pro Custom Figures and some of these. I've got some more on order from the same seller, and I'm actually expecting a gift of a 3D printed droids figure in the mail, thanks to one of my viewers, Mr. Tulga from the Rebel Scum forums. So that's kind of the state of where everything is. I'm going to be transferring things to, hopefully making a new paper insert. I have to figure out which of these I want to use, which ones I don't. I've actually gone through already and culled some that had broken pegs. One's got a peg completely missing, as a matter of fact. So I'll have to kind of figure out what inserts are going in which cases and which figures are going to go where. But that's the story of 3 C3PO cases, or C9PO, I guess. Alright. Lots to do and little time to do it. Thank you for watching.